This morning, I woke up and somehow I was very low energy. I was overthinking about the content again, about everything that I'm doing right now, about the weight loss, about the documentation, having doubt in my head. What if it doesn't work out? You've probably seen like the Marty Supreme trailer, and it's like, he says inside of that, he says like, oh, the woman asks him like, what if it doesn't work out? And he says, that doesn't even enter my consciousness. That just popped into my head. I think that's what I'm doing wrong. That's what I'm just thinking, about it not happening. Thinking about the failures, thinking about the doubt, thinking about the problems itself is a problem. I've been feeling very low in the past few days. Yesterday, it's embarrassing, but my BP was a bit low. I had a mini burnout. And even right now, I'm low energy. But I just wanted to record this because I want to put this out there for my future self to see it. Because that's what all the documentation is about. I've tried to record this video over 4 times now. And I was just spurging around, going here and there with points and really ignoring the real thing here. Just overthinking about all of these topics and just going through all the shit. I don't really have a method to how I did it, losing the 24 pounds that I've done in the last 4 months. As you can see, I'm still overthinking about not weight loss anymore, but when it comes to content creation, when it comes to a different dimension, I'm still overthinking. And it just shows that, like, even after I get the 6-pack, I know I'm gonna get the 6-pack. There's literally no doubt there. But that's what I need to do with the content creation as well, because I've been overthinking about it so much. Too much. Thinking about this, that. I don't want to talk to myself in a harsh manner. I did that in the past couple of videos, and I felt a bit cringe watching them back because it wasn't authentic. It wasn't my authentic self. I was curating this manufactured version of myself in order to get more views, in order to impact more people. But I've realized right now this documentation isn't about impacting other people, man. It's about impacting myself. That's what it's about. It's about impacting myself. It's not about getting views. It's not about impacting another person out. I don't know your life problems. I don't know you. Life is beautiful, man. Life is beautiful. I'm grateful for having these problems because they make me grow. They make me understand that, yes, I am not where I want to be. Because if I'm not pursuing, if I have the mindset that I'm not going to be pursuing the results, then what's going to actually motivate me to actually just keep pushing forward is the inability to keep doing the actions. And that's the problem, The problem is that I am not consistent right now when it comes to doing the content creation. I'm new to this. I'm not perfect, and that's what's messing with my head. I want to be perfect. That's the problem. This is like a self-coaching session. That's basically what it is, man. I'm just talking to myself. I'm just figuring shit out with the current life that I have right now. There's been some not family arguments, but it's like small things are messing with my head when I'm in this kind of negative headspace and when I'm a bit sleep deprived. Sleep is a big thing as well. I have to improve sleep. I was just speaking with ChatGPT, and it said a very important sentence. It said, become first, document second. become first, document second. I think I've been doing the complete opposite of that, where I've been just documenting first and then becoming second. I've made documentation the priority. I've made making these videos the priority over doing my steps, over going to the gym, over actually developing myself, over actually doing the morning routine, over actually like improving myself with the mindsets and everything. It has helped me with coaching myself. It has helped me with figuring things out a bit more about things like fat loss flow and finding more methods and shit like that. But at the same time, it's taken away so much from my life. These are the struggles, man. These are the struggles. These are the problems. And they'll never stop coming. That's the irony. They'll never stop coming, man. They'll always be there. Always. Every single morning I wake up, I got to do the same thing. And there's two perspectives to interpret that. One is, yes, I'm so excited. I can do this every single day. And the second is, oh shit, I got to do this every single day. If I have the second perspective, I'm doing something wrong. And what I'm doing wrong is that I've made the task too hard. I have to simplify shit. I have to simplify everything. I was just thinking to myself, yeah, I'm going to enter my 20s in a month, right? How am I preaching consistency at this level right now, where everybody's trying to go hard? Everyone who's 20 years old or in their 20s, they're like, oh, I have to work for many hours as possible. I have to do this weight loss thing. I have to get shredded as fast as possible. I have to go to do this fast. But then I thought again about it, and I was like, will those people be able to last 10 years? Are those people going to last 10 years? Or are they going to just do it quickly and fall off quickly? What is going to happen? They have to keep doing it, They have to keep maintaining it. And the worst mindset that I've ever had when it comes to everything is that when I'm there, it's going to be different. When I get the six-pack, it's going to be different. When I have the supercar, it's going to be different. When I have this, it's going to be different. I don't have these things. But after losing 24 pounds and losing a little bit of like fat, I've seen my physique like become much better. It's not different. I'm still dealing with the same problems. That's it. Isn't this a pattern? If you're not a retard, you're probably going to realize this. With your own life, you're going to understand, yeah, like, I'm going basically back to advice mode. And that's basically it. Those people aren't going to be able to last for decades. I am thinking about the long run, and that's why I have to have the blinders on. That's why I don't have to keep thinking about all this shit like doing it quick, getting it fast. Because that's just the path of the extreme. That's just a path of self-sabotage. I don't want to sabotage myself. I don't want to get this quick and then ruin my physique again. You see those rappers, you remember those rappers of 2017, those artists that popped off, but you don't even remember their names anymore, you just remember their faces now. In 2016, 2017, they were popping because they were chasing the trends, they were chasing the hype. But right now, they're not known anymore. It's because they chased the quick trends. They chased the fast road, which was actually the shortest road. The actual fast road for me is the road where I can be 70% consistent, show up every single day, enjoy the suffering. That's the thing, enjoy the suffering. Because if I don't enjoy the suffering, I'm not going to be able to do this for a lifetime. I'm not going to be able to document for a decade straight. I'm not going to be able to, if I overthink, if I just not simplify it to the point where I can do it just automatically without overthinking about it, then it's going to become hard, and that's where I will collapse. That's where my fall will come. I have seen creators, I have seen people who have just fell off because they've just overanalyzed every piece of their content, overanalyzed every single shit, and just chased perfectionism. And that's something that I'm not gonna do with the documentation that I'm doing right now. Because I'm not someone who's new to the game of YouTube and social media and all that shit. I've been trying to do this for the past, since I was like 13, but perfectionism just took over me. When I came here to Germany, I was like 10 years old. First, I wanted to become a footballer. Procrastinated on that, just wanted to have the results quick. I was envisioning myself getting the Ballon d'Or and winning the prizes, having the money, gaining the attention, the followers, all of that. But I wasn't thinking about the struggle that came with it. I wasn't thinking about I have to run every single day like a horse. And I have to do all of this. I'm just going to be able to have a career until 30 with this. I wasn't thinking straight. I was just like hypnotized by the results. And that's something that just took over when I wanted to start YouTube again. When I was 13 years old, I was trying to start YouTube. And I was just being a perfectionist, man. I wanted to make the best videos possible without the struggle. Again, trying to skip the effort and trying to get the results as quickly as possible. And at the same time, I started doing some home workouts, trying to get the results fast, get the physique fast. And all of that just spiraled into years of just not achieving the result. You know what I mean? That's what it got me. No results. So I basically destroyed most of my teens, or wasted most of my teen years, just because I wanted to get results fast. I didn't optimize my routine to enjoy the suffering, and that's why the time got wasted. The effort and the struggle didn't even matter anymore. It didn't even go anywhere, didn't even have any return on investment, because I was just burning myself out. They always say life goes up and down. If I am extreme and I'm always going up fast, if my action is very extreme, right, my results will be extreme. I'll get the results very fast. I'm gonna get a lot of results, but then my failure will be also of an extreme level. So with the increased amount of action, I'm going to increase the win rate, but I'm also going to increase the failure rate. And I think that failure rate, that just messes with people a lot. And that's what messed with me a lot in the past few weeks when it comes to the content creation, because it's like, you think, I'm putting this so much effort, I need to win, I need to win fast, I have to get more results. Why am I not getting any results? It's because it takes a long time, man. Nothing is gained fast. Ask anyone who has something significant. They're going to say it took months or even years. It does not take days or weeks. It's like going to the gym, man. If I didn't make going to the gym enjoyable, if I didn't sign up to a better gym with less angry looking people or less negative vibrational people, I would have probably not shown up as much. If I hadn't made my diet enjoyable, something that I could stick to every single day, eating the same meals, the problem wasn't that I could eat the same meals every single day. I have to eat the same meals every single day. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that I had to count the calories every single day, and that was messing with me. And once I fixed that, once I removed that calorie counting, and I made it so easy that I can just track it on my MyFitnessPal. I have automatic, I've already tracked, right? And I can I'm pointing here, but the phone is there recording. But once I made it so easy, it just became automatic. I could just eat the same meals every single day. And there's moments where I have dips, You know, I have dips in energy and in progress, but it's all a smokescreen. It's all a test from God to see whether we're actually about it or not. And the people who are not about it, they just quit immediately. You know, when I was in Thailand, I was with this entrepreneur who was making like 10K per month, but I went there with the hopes and dreams of making $100,000 per month quick, to get the physique quick, to become a fighter quick. And before this, we were just on calls every single day, me and these two other guys, we were just on calls. And we related a lot to each other when it came to getting results and making all of these goals, or we're gonna get these supercars, we're gonna do this, you know, do this, planning it all out, all the fantasy, just making the plans. We spend like 2 weeks, 3 weeks just making the plans of content creation, fitness, everything. But when I went there, it was such a bad environment for working that I couldn't even finish a video. I couldn't even upload one single video. I was just doing Muay Thai in the morning, and at nighttime we were just creatures of the night, staying up all night and just trying to work, trying to script the videos. I already had like recorded 7 videos 3 times, but the other guy, he didn't even record a single video because he was so trying to be perfect with the content that we didn't take a single amount of action. Nothing moved because we didn't move, we didn't do anything. And I don't really blame those guys, but I just like ran away from that place, right? And I admit it. Because I ran away from that lifestyle, because without even telling the guys, because shit, man, I'm just slipping. I saw that environment wasn't good for me. It wasn't good. It wasn't the best environment for work. It wasn't the best environment. It was an extreme environment. There was no prioritization for sleep. All the mindset, all the disrespect, all of the negative energy, just doing degenerate stuff, not really caring about making progress or talking about God for just a sentence, but then the next moves that you're doing is just completely anti everything that's opposite of what God preaches or what God tells us to do. You know, meeting those kind of people like taught me a very big lesson, is that extremism is never the way. Extremism is never the way, man. I'll never fall back to extremism. And I really have to drill this into my mindset. I'm probably gonna like drill this even more into when it comes to the content creation and everything. Extremism and just overthinking everything is never the best move on the board. Just taking action like a retard and just being delusional is such a big play that I have done in the past 4 months that has just led to me losing the most amount of weight that I've ever lost in my life. And that's crazy to me, because I've tried for so long and I've always failed. I've failed so many times. There were so many moments of my life where I was just on the treadmill, you know, every single day trying to count the steps. I have to hit 20k steps, I have to hit 15k steps or 10k steps. I was having this pizza delivery job and I was out here in the cold just delivering pizzas, and at the same time I was trying to lose weight myself. And I had a YouTube channel. It was this YouTube channel, but I was uploading different type of content. It was completely authentic to myself, just giving advice, even though I didn't even have a six-pack. And I didn't have a six-pack, I was preaching fat loss. That's why I'm so extreme, anti-extremism. I'm so anti-extremism because of this. Because I've experienced that life of trying to be extreme, man, and trying to hang out with people who are trying to be extreme, having the extreme life, lavish lifestyle. It's not real. It's not real. They struggle as well. They are sleep deprived as well. They have problems as well. They argue with their families as well. They have headaches as well. They overthink as well. They don't take action as well. They procrastinate as well. They just pretend they don't. They don't show this on the internet. They aren't willing to document. It's not about those people. It's just about making this point that almost everyone that I've came across on the internet has been fake, and the only people that have been real are the ones that have been doing this for such a long time. It's like undeniable that their shit is real. And that's why their advice hits. Because they've documented for so long, they've grown themselves the most. They've prioritized self-development over the money, over the cars, over the women, over everything. That's what I'm trying to do. You know, I've not really spoken about this on the internet, but I'm really anti, like, what people are doing nowadays with the dating and everything. You know, there's been moments and there's been environments where I've gotten close to it, but I've never really done it myself because I know that God's watching me. And it's not about me being so good and everything, good-hearted and everything. It's just like that stuff is just degenerate, man. That stuff is degenerate. That's a path of extremism and wanting fast results as well. You know, you want quick pleasure as well, so you go and you do degenerate stuff with women. But that's not the path that I will choose. I will choose the path that God has laid for me, and the path that my father and my mother have gone on, which is the modest path. You know, I'm not here to be a good boy. I'm not here to be babied by my parents, but at the same time, I understand that I want to be better than just a degenerate prick. You know what I mean? I don't want to have that life. I don't want to be that type of person. It's just for the short term, you know. I'm thinking about heaven. Like, of course I'm a sinner as well, man. I'm like, every human being is a sinner. I have problems too, you know. I have to pray as well. There's so much that I need to improve. But it's all about taking that one step at a time, man. One step at a time. Not overthinking about it. Being modest. Not being degenerate. You know, that's why God has input all of these desires into our heads. It's all a test, man. In the end of the day, it's all a test. It's such like goes into so much detail. It's just like the roots of a tree, you know. It goes into every single aspect of one's life. Every single part of my life is congruent. If I'm incongruent, if the thought of consistency over intensity is incongruent with the content creation, it's going to be incongruent with the physique and the transformation of my body and going to the gym. And it's not just about the transformation of the body, it's just being consistent with the gym and the activities and the actions. That's all going to fall apart if I'm not really congruent with other parts, you know, if it's not congruent with other parts of my life. So I have to pass every single test that God, astaghfirullah, man, that God inputs in my path. I have to take it like a man. Because there's going to be a lot of it. There's going to be a lot of tests that are going to come in my path. There's going to be noise in the back from dipshits. There's going to be a lot of shit, you know, a lot of doubt that's going to come, not from me, but from people who are my surrounding. You know, even people who are very, very close to me. There's going to be doubt that's going to come from them. And we aren't going to have the same opinion when it comes to this matter of choosing what I need to do with my life. But still, I have to bypass the test and make my own decision. And follow my own lead. It's the new year. Everybody's focused on their desires. We need to do the opposite, man. We need to do the opposite. And just focus on the path. Focus on the inputs. Because Life is gonna pass quick, man. Life is gonna pass quickly. I'm just gonna blink and it's gonna be December 31st, 2026. And it's gonna feel like 3 months if I'm focused on the desire. But it will feel longer, or time's just gonna even pass by even quickly, you know, every single year is gonna pass by even quicker. But if I'm focused on the inputs every single day, on the actions every single day, that's gonna get me so much more far in life than being focused on my desires. I'm documenting everything on IG, man, in real time. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.